so cute.
There's no ring.
Yeah.
Cameras,
Dude, seriously appreciate you.
Yeah.
You guys.
Like being early and everything, it's working around athletes, it's like usually everyone's late or just calling in late.
Yeah,
so
I
appreciate
tell
it.
people all this shit can be taken away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why isn't this working?
So you've wrestled in Sacramento then, huh?
I used to travel, going through here, do shows here, go through here, going to Reno, getting stuck in a blizzard.
Oh yeah, dude.
I opened. It was the second show in it Golden One Center, because I think they had a concert before it opened, and then WWE was there. So I did extra work with WWE at this building.
What were you doing? Was it like a tryout thing in Sacramento, or was it?
It's like where they bring all the local talent in. Like
I
was John Moxley's guy in the gas mask.
Oh, I was there for that. That was so weird.
Yeah, Mox remembered me when I got to AEW, and because I was getting yelled at because the mask was so hot, like you couldn't see through it. And so I'm like, well, I'm gonna lift this up, and I took a super kick from Seth Rollins, and like, don't have your mask come off, and I do this, my mask flies off live on TV. And they tried yelling at me, and I'm like, do you really want to yell at me? And I'm like,
that's so weird, dude. Yeah. I was there for that one. That was such a weird angle.
I think I was there.
Yeah, that was such a weird.
Yeah. Oh wow,
Yeah.
the things that you guys experience. But then, I mean, yeah, I want to save it because just the journey, it's so cool. Some of these stories that we get from you guys, and just like seeing what you have to go through.
Yeah, we had Eddie Kingston on last week on video. Yeah,
we did our WWE trial together.
that's right. I remember hearing an interview
met.
about that. Oh, you guys met there? That's wow.
Yeah.
We gave him so much love, and we're like, we know you don't love, and he's like, I can't take it. It was cute.
Are you about to do an update, Chris? Okay, a minute. Okay, he'll do an update, and then we're gonna be like live.
Like a little sports update. But we are live on the YouTube chat. So what's up, YouTube? Yeah, wow. Everyone's love it. Talking to each other. Good job, everyone.
I'm only supposed to hear out of one ear.
Oh, is it only one ear
Let
right
me
now?
see.
That's weird.
Let me try this. Try it now.
Still.
Just one ear is fine.
Okay.
It's all right.
Sorry.
Was this both ears? Was this one working all right for these?
I don't remember.
Okay. If you can try those too if you want, if that's better.
Yeah. Go back and try
This place.
this. Hey, you're on there.
Test. Still same.
No, we'll go back.
Okay. All right.
All good. From the projects. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, that should be. We are live. Not yet. Good job, Chris. By the way, it gets freezing cold and hot in here, so sorry.
Suck it up.
Okay.
Suck it up.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Sactown Sports Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports Headlines. Sacramento Kings were without De'Aaron Fox, who sat out with a sore hamstring, but it did not stop the team from beating the New Orleans Pelicans 123-108. Kings guard Kevin Huerter led all scorers with 25 points, shooting 6 of 10 from beyond the arc. And Sabonis also recorded his 8th triple-double of the season with 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists. With the Kings' win, they are now a half game behind the Memphis Grizzlies in second in the Western Conference. Kings can tie the Grizzlies tonight. If the Lakers beat the Grizz, Kings and Grizz will both have 38 wins and 26 losses. Now back to Deuce and Mo with our guest, PowerHouse Hobbs.
Let's go. Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan, and you guys know I'm a wrestling nerd.
Can you do the snarl?
Oh,
I don't know.
I
I
put you on
can't.
blast. Try.
the snarl.
It's just so
he can't
awkward.
even whistle, dude.
I can't do
Yeah.
so I can't whistle. I can't snap.
He can't snap.
I can't snap. Super excited to be joined in studio because AEW is coming to Sacramento tomorrow night, Golden One Center for Dynamite's Powerhouse Hobbs in studio with us. He's got a big match. He's got to win the TNT Championship tomorrow night.
Huge match
against War Puppy or War
Oh,
This guy, I mean,
yeah.
it's cool. It's
He
like a
ain't
temper.
nothing.
He's just holding the belt for Powerhouse
For
Hobbs.
3 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
72 hours.
It's cool. He got his
Woo!
moment on pay-per-view. I mean, that's
I
cool.
had my moment too.
Yeah.
Did you see my suite?
Yes. Your suite was nice up there, man.
It was.
Yeah, you got a nice view at Chase Center. Appreciate you joining us in studio, man. You've been hanging out. You got here super early.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm excited.
Dude, what a journey for you, man.
Yeah.
Bay Area. And I imagine this weekend had to have been a lot for you because we were just talking a little bit ago. You grew up right near the Cow Palace.
Mhm.
And then here you are performing at the Cow Palace. Like,
Yes.
dude, was that surreal?
It's so much history in my family with the Cow Palace, just from my grandparents. I think it was 1961 or 62. They moved from a small town in Mississippi, which is like Jasper County, Holliburg, Mississippi, right? So they moved. They took a Greyhound bus all the way to San Francisco.
Wow.
Found an apartment above a liquor store, which is still there. And I heard stories about Ray Stevens, Pepper Gomez, The Rock's grandfather, High Chief Peter Maivia, Kenji Shibuya, the Great Mephisto. Wrestling was always in my household. They even saw Frank Sinatra, Elvis, the Jackson 5. They told me a story about Marvin Gaye stopping a riot at the Cow Palace. So it's
Dude.
and then when I was younger, just going to shows constantly every time it was in town.
So your grandparents got you into wrestling.
Well, it started with my grandparents and went to my dad, my cousins, my aunts and uncles.
Okay.
And by the time I popped up,
wow.
it was already on. So
It's really, I love hearing. Okay. So I always tell people this on air, like I am a wrestling fan. I always consider myself a cash just because like I feel like hardcore, they understand every single indie guy out there, every single, every single, yes. And that's why I don't want to ever disrespect, wrestling fans when they ask me a question, I don't know something. So I say, hey, I'm a cash, don't ask me. But I know with these two, Chris and Deuce, like huge wrestling fans. And I know for Deuce, it was, really his grandparents and his family that helped him get into wrestling growing up, and hearing what it had done for him as a child and his confidence was really cool to hear. What did wrestling do for you as a young guy?
For me, it was just about with my family. It was just about bonding, because at times there was, I think maybe 9, 10, or 11 of us in a 2-bedroom house. So that was our thing. Growing up, wrestling. Saturdays, Mondays, Thursday, Friday, whenever it was on, we would all watch. We all go in the living room or go just all huddle up in my grandparents' room.
Wow.
And watch it. So for me personally, a lot of my friends grew up loving football, basketball, baseball, soccer. I love those sports, but I knew at a young age I wanted to be a wrestler. And there were times I got made fun of it or got beat up for it. But look at me now.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't mess
close
with you.
to 270 pounds. So it's
You're a big dude.
but I just knew at a young age that this is what I wanted to do. For me personally, when I felt that I was being picked on, whatever, I would sometimes walk down the hallway humming Stone Cold Steve Austin's music in my head,
Hell yeah. Dude.
So it's a big part of my life.
Yeah, it was weird for me growing up. Like, I don't know what it was. My dad was pretty much in prison most of my life, and wrestling was just like, these guys were like heroes to me.
Mhm.
Like, it was just these like male figures for me
Yeah.
that you looked up to, and you just saw how confident they were. I mean, obviously how ripped they were when they were on the mic.
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted to be that. I want to grab this mic and talk. It's just so cool. And it's weird how, as a kid, you're super into it. I kind of went away for a little bit in high school, then came back, and you're like, here I am as this adult guy, and I'm just like, I love what it's about. You know what I mean? I just love the storylines, how much all of you guys put into it, just from the work ethic to respecting the craft. It's just an amazing business.
It is, and it's one of the things I don't think a lot of fans out there, or a lot of people who are not fond of wrestling, appreciate it. Because I tell you, all of us wake up every morning in some type of pain, and you just got to deal with it. And it's just about being in front of a crowd and telling a story and having people look up to you, kids. Like whenever I go to my barbershop in Hayward or whenever I'm walking around in the hood, people come up to me. I love it. Like if they tell me you're doing it for us, I absolutely love it.
Okay. What was one of the things that kept you going when you had maybe doubters, or even, I don't know, were there ever family members that even were like, hey, maybe you should try this instead? What kept you going through? Because that's difficult, even when you have doubters of loved ones, people that love you, that just are like, but we want you to succeed.
My own father didn't want me to wrestle, so, and it was just like, man, you're too small to do that. And I'm looking at him now and I'm like, what? So, you want to brag about me now, but that's a different story for a different time. But I've had a lot of family members, friends, co-workers doubt me. So it's, I like to say I've been doubted at a young age, so I'm used to it.
But what kept you going? Because I mean, it's not like the pay is great when you're
just knowing I would make it.
Yeah,
I did listen to some people and have those doubts in my mind, but I'm like, well, I'm good at what I do, and eventually will pay off. And I have 3 children that look up to me, so it's like, do I really want to quit? Do I really want them to see their dad, being a quitter? I'm like, no. We don't do that.
You got better on yourself,
we don't do
too.
that. You have to. We don't do that. Where I'm from, in East Palo Alto, we don't do that. Even when I'm like was going back and forth East Palo Alto, Oakland, like we don't quit. I think Californians have a different type of swag than other people. Don't get me wrong about people in other states or other cities, but I rep where I'm from, and I just think we have a different ability.
When you were growing up, who were the wrestlers that you like connected with? You mentioned Stone Cold. Were there other guys that you really just connected with when you watched?
Yeah, I loved Harlem Heat growing up. I loved Ron Simmons. I loved The Rock. I loved Mr. Perfect. I loved Ravish and Rick Rude.
Mr. Perfect, man. I met Mr. Perfect at a WWF show a long time ago. It was at Arco Arena, and he was doing like an autograph signing. I was 5 years old. Yeah, dude. And he was signing autographs. I'll never forget it because he shook my hand. I was 5 years old. He squeezed my hand so hard. I'll never forget it.
He was setting you up, man. You got a firm handshake means a lot. You can read a lot.
Yeah, dude. He was like, I'm like, God damn. Okay, Mr. Perfect.
I'm gonna put him on blast. I'm gonna put Daddy Ass
on blast
because we have a photo of Billy Gunn holding me when I was about 4 years old at the Cow Palace.
No,
I still have to show him this picture, but it's just, man,
that is amazing.
It's crazy.
I mean, his resurgence has been pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, like, but I don't know what it is about that man, that he just like gets better with time.
Well, how wild is that, right? When you do, because I remember when I first was really getting back into wrestling, even in 2012, and then seeing some of the older wrestlers get back out there. And then in AEW too, it was the same thing. I was judging hard because I was like, no, let these young guys find their path. Like put them above. But I understand the veteran presence and what it can do.
I was taught as a young child, you got to shut up and listen. And obviously they have been where I want to go.
Yeah.
Like there's a pay-per-view at the Cow Palace in 98. My grandma got tickets and for us, and we went all the way from the top down by the barricade, down the walkway. And I slapped Chris Jericho and he yelled at me, shut up. And so it's like, man, I'm learning from this dude. He's helping me out, and I work with him. I'll text him and he respond back. I'm like, smile on my face, like, damn, okay. So,
dude, yeah. And talk about a guy that's seen literally everything,
done
everything, man. And like his evolution. I mean, there were times I remember when he came back to WWE before he started like kind of connected with Kevin Owens. I was like, God, I'm just kind of tired of Jericho. But then right when you get tired of him, he flips into something else. And you're like, oh my, he just continues to evolve.
He has that ability, man. He's great.
Damn, man. Yeah. So, you mentioned Farouk, The Rock, Nation of Domination. Man,
they got me in trouble. Nation and DX as a kid.
At
DX.
school.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what I mean, he was saying the same thing, like what he would used to go around school as like a
Everyone
sixth
did
grader
that,
and do
dude.
it.
We had our own little cliques in school.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
well, let's meet in the bathroom and duke it out, and it's like okay. So it was, yeah. I've been suspended enough because of wrestling.
Yeah, but look how much joy it's brought you, Chris. Sorry, you're over here want to talk too. My bad.
Oh,
Chris.
well, I mean, it's great that
Talk to me, baby.
Yeah.
you were wrestling all up around Northern California, and I gotta say, it was so dope seeing you win the ladder match. I'm like,
Appreciate
oh
that.
man, he did it. Is it one of those things of just like, how awesome is this? Like, you were probably wrestling in front of 20, 30 people,
Mhm.
I've wrestled in front of 5 people.
5
before.
people, and now like you did some stuff in like Yuba City and stuff like that.
That drive, Yuba City, Woodland,
And then
Oh
you're
my
lifting
gosh.
the brass ring over there.
Yes.
That was so dope.
It was. That's definitely a moment that I'll remember forever.
What's great, I was telling my friend when I went to the show on Sunday, is the 2 biggest pops were the Acclaimed, which are like the biggest thing ever, and then when everyone saw you in your suite, like, yeah, let's go.
It's the day, baby. I'm telling you, man.
Why don't you bring the ring in, man? I thought you were gonna bring the brass ring in. That'd been dope.
So did you watch the media scrum?
I didn't see yours after I
was there.
No, I know.
So-
I heard you went. Yeah, he was actually there.
Did you see it?
You came
yeah.
in.
Yeah, I had a question. I actually had 2 questions for Wardlow. I didn't get an answer, so I left him a gift.
Ooh.
This
Interesting.
brass ring,
Okay,
man.
all right.
Okay.
I no longer need it.
Damn.
Tomorrow night,
I'm so
taking
excited.
was mine.
I love
I'm
it.
so okay. Really, you guys, Chris just talking about wrestling in front of 5 people, 30 people, and then like where you're at now. This is kind of geared toward actually Chris and Deuce.
Yeah.
When you guys see wrestlers like Will Hobbs and you see where they started to where they're at, is there something even more special about watching them succeed?
Oh, I think when you see the growth, like I remember when you first showed up on Dynamite, and like I didn't know who you were, and that was during the pandemic, right?
That was a great time.
Yeah, but I mean, they put you over
Yeah.
on the broadcast that night. I was like, oh, this guy is a freak, and
Mhm.
like, so to see where you've come from, that and it's ups and downs, of course, with
Oh, yeah.
anything. But to see where you are now, it is cool. It's good because it feels like we're invested
Yes.
in your journey, and I think fans connect with that, right, Chris?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I know that you wrestled at SPW here in Sacramento.
Yeah.
and all like,
My man knows his research, his history.
It's even
I
better
love it.
because like we saw you, like this is our guy making it to the big league.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I don't know how many times I wrestled for SPW out here. It was
And I don't think
It's
people
just-
realize like how good of an indie scene like Northern California has.
a lot.
APW,
I mean,
SPW, Hood Slam is like huge now.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been to the Bay Area, been through the Bay Area at a time. There's a thing called the King of Indies. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Oh yeah.
Early 2000s. And I work with some of those guys that were in that big show. So
Dude, it's wild. It's crazy too to just see the evolution of wrestling too, and now we're to the point where like all elite wrestling is here, and it's legit, man.
it's taking over, man. It's a different feel, different vibe.
Yeah.
Man. Anyone coming out to the show tonight or tomorrow night, excuse me, is gonna see what we do.
It reignited my passion for wrestling, to be honest.
Right.
Like, just see it became like must watch again,
Yeah.
and it's just been cool to see new faces like yourself and even established names do different things and get
Mhm.
more opportunity, and it's cool. I mean, I think the one thing it'd be nice to get more hours for all you guys to be able to show off what you can do, but yeah, dude, it is.
But
It is so fun.
I hear people complain about that and talk about that, but even if you got a minute, you got to take advantage of it
Mm.
every single time you're on TV.
Yeah.
It's like anyone that's playing football or any type of sport, you make the most of your minutes.
Yeah.
You can go 100% and make the most of it.
Does that cause a lot of pressure? Like on yourself?
No, I don't think so. It's just whatever I get, I have to make the most of it. I know it.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know how to put it, but you got to make the most of it. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, here's a minute, go do something.
I mean, you're that's for anyone that is
We're professionals,
right.
So you gotta be on.
And it's a live performance. And that's the thing I always tell people that don't understand wrestling. I go, it's like going to a Broadway play, except without singing for the most part. There's
sometimes.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. There's these are athletes doing a live, sometimes improv, kind of felt out performance on the mic. You're hearing people talk while you're seeing action going on, top rope, jumping off flips, throwing people down. And it's like, I can't imagine what that can feel like, but also like you're saying, in those minutes that you have to perform at a high level and messing up, and now with the cameras that we have watching at home, it's like you see everything.
You see everything. That's why only a select few do what we do.
Yeah.
When I started training, there were 25 people in my class, and it trickled down to 2.
Whoa.
So this ain't for everybody.
Is that person still in wrestling, or?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
Who is it?
Great question.
He's still on the local scene.
Okay.
Jack Banning,
Okay.
Drugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I didn't know what Hood Slam
I know
was
Drugs Bunny.
years ago. This must have been like what, Chris, like 6 years
2018.
ago. It's been a while, and someone told me about going to this show, and I was like, "What the hell did I walk into?" Drugs Bunny. I'll never forget Drugs Bunny, dude.
One of the
amazing.
greatest things that experience for me, like with indie wrestling, I gained even a new appreciation for wrestling as a whole, because I had been to, some big shows. I've sat in some pretty great seats, and then just standing up at a little venue watching these people perform so intimately. It's special.
Yeah.
It is.
So you said you wanted to be a wrestler at a young age. You just knew, but it's one thing to like want to. I wanted to be at one point. All right. I mean, now I'm here talking on a radio show, but
Which you love.
yeah, most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
You got a great partner right here.
We do a lot of things together. We do TV together. We podcast together. So we have so many different
I spend way too much time with her. All right.
Yeah.
It's
true.
no, in all seriousness. So like, it's one thing to like want to do it, but then you have to go do it. When did you start training? When were you like, all right, now,
Man.
how does that even start? How does someone go, all right, I want to be a wrestler?
So there was you guys remember, you ever see the movie Beyond the Mat?
Yes, I have.
No.
So I trained at APW.
Okay.
Do you remember the scene where the fan had spit on the wrestler and the wrestler was trying to throw him off the balcony?
Yes.
God, I haven't seen it in years. It's
Oh, yeah.
That's
Chris,
right.
how many times do you watch Beyond the Mat? Be honest.
Probably 15 to 20 times.
See,
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
That's where I trained. Learning how to put the ring together, going to shows, setting up the rings, the chairs, lighting, man, breaking everything down, loading up a truck, driving 8, 9, 10 hours to a show, and not even wrestling, not even getting a thank you. This is paying your dues.
And then you have to still train like during the week.
Yeah. Monday through Friday, you still got to go train. Busting your ass.
So then what's the biggest thing you've learned about yourself since being with AEW?
That I'm patient. That I actually love what I do. This is like
I love that.
kind of I've become obsessed with this.
Oh,
And just knowing my ability, knowing how I can perform, knowing what I can do to make people boo me, cheer me. So I've learned a whole lot about myself.
Do you watch a lot of other like old matches?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because
Yes.
I don't know how you feel. Wrestling business is so weird. So I always am careful with who I bring up, but I'm a big FTR fan. Chris doesn't like FTR. I like FTR.
Hey.
All right, I like FTR, but they're so obsessed with Bret Hart. I mean, they talk about him all the time, but they study a lot. They're always watching old stuff.
I mean, there's guys that a lot of our vets that I hit up, like Dean Malenko, Billy Gunn, Chris Jericho, Arn Anderson, a lot of our agents I hit up, Pat Buck, Sanjay Dutt, I asked these guys for advice. Like, what should I do? What should I be looking for? How can I switch this? How can I change that? So it's, I have everything I need in the palm of my hand, and it's up to me just to capitalize on it. because I'm not satisfied where I am.
Wow.
I'm not. Like, my goal for me is to become the first African American world champion in AEW. That's a goal I've had since the day I inked my name on that piece of paper. I've dreamt about it as a kid, being a world champion, and I have people looking up to me.
Yes.
And it's something that I want to accomplish, and I have to get better. I have to do it for me. I have to do it for my family. So it's something that I've been becoming obsessed with.
Why is that so important to you?
Because it's my dream. I've had signings where people have came up to me and told me how much I motivate them. What I've done for them, and I'm like, me, I did that for
And
you.
representation matters.
Yeah. And I love it. Like, I go to the hood constantly. I stay there. And just having not only African Americans, come up to me, all type of ethnicity and races come up to me and tell you, thank you. This is what you've done for me. And all last week when we were in San Francisco, I had people telling me, thank you for repping the Bay.
Dude, that's gotta make you emotional.
That meant so much to me. I'm like, me from a little 2 square mile city in East Palo Alto.
Yeah.
That man.
See, and that's why it's so cool too that AEW's coming over to the West Coast.
Yeah. Especially Tony Khan. Tony Khan knows his wrestling history.
Yeah.
Like, I can ask him something, he can give me the date,
Damn.
wherever the location was.
He's got
and he knows about the Cow Palace. Like, we've had conversations, and the fact that this guy gave me a chance when no other company would. It's my duty not only to not let down myself, but not let him down, because he's put me in some high profile spots.
Yeah,
and I'm a baseball fan. I'm not going to curse, but I knocked it out the park.
Yeah.
So I keep telling him, man, give me more.
Oh,
I love that, dude. We need to take a break on the radio side.
Yeah.
Do you want to hang out for a little bit longer? Do you need to go? Yeah. All right. We're hanging out with PowerHouse Hobbs. AEW coming to Sacramento tomorrow night. I can't wait for Chris is going to be there. I'm going to be there. Morgan's not.
New TNT champ.
The new TNT champ. I'm telling you right now, it's not a prediction, right?
It's
in the book of Hobbs. It's already written.
It's done.
It's written.
It's done.
Let's go.
We'll talk more with PowerHouse Hobbs coming up next. Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com. What were you?
No, I was just going.
Just
and so we stay. So right now we're live on the YouTube chat. Just FYI.
Got it.
Just FYI.
Got it. We're live.
Dude, yeah, it's really cool to see your story and your passion for it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's especially in our business too. Like, you want people that are passionate and in it for the right reasons. There's a lot of times that people get into it for the wrong reasons. They want to be famous, or it's like, no, you gotta love it. You gotta be obsessed.
You have to.
With it.
The fame will come if you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll come.
And that's why, like, you talking about being obsessed with it though, and like going back and watching things. It's funny because we're definitely the same way in our business of it doesn't matter if it's watching competitors, if you want to call it that, podcasts, or just even local news, and seeing how, like, media, and seeing how they transition in and out of things, and the story that they cover first.
Dude, wrestling's helped us, like, in promotion.
100%.
You should see some of the stuff we do on our, like, podcasts and stuff.
Ridiculous.
We do a lot of stupid things that's wrestling related. Well, I do a lot of stupid things.
And
I love
gotta
it. Promote yourself.
You have to.
Try.
Nobody else is going to do it for you.
Right.
Nobody else. Nobody makes me get up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym. Nobody.
Yeah.
No one makes me sit down and watch footage. I have to do it. So
when you watch footage, are you like breaking yourself down like an athlete, or are you more, or what about on mic stuff? Are you ever just?
I do. I watch a lot of that. My vignettes that I had about the Book of Hobbs and Chris Jericho and Don Callis produced that. We know how great Jericho is on the
Don
mic.
Callis.
Don Callis is great on the mic too.
They're both.
God.
And the fact that they actually, they came out to Oakland with me and we filmed that. Like, that was at the actual barbershop I went to. That was at the actual porch where I got shot. My brother got killed. It was all that was.
Dude, so that made it even that's where you could feel the emotion. Out of
Yeah,
it
all
too.
that
Like,
was all real.
yeah,
We
it's
went to
real.
those spots.
Whoa, and they came with you for that.
Yeah, all that was at the actual spots. The alley where the
Those-
guys are shooting dice and playing. Those were my boys actually working the barbershop, and the shop had closed. You know, everybody was
Yeah.
off work, and that was an actual real dice game playing.
Dude,
It was
that's
a real
amazing.
dice game. So
It sounds like you have some really good teammates too.
Yeah.
Which is I
yeah.
mean,
I have my circle. Of
Yeah.
people, you know, so
Yeah.
just like in any business.
for sure. I mean, especially there's so many personalities and everything that you have to deal with that
Yeah.
I'm sure it's just like, I mean, it's anywhere. Like you're gonna like everyone, but you're also gonna have your close people,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's empowering. And
It is, man. I love what I do on a
I've always thought it's
weekly and daily basis.
wrestling's such a strange thing of where you want to go solo and you want to be like the
I didn't hear
man.
him.
Oh,
he
wait.
can't, he can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got to get on Ox.
Oh, my bad.
Ox.
My bad.
Wait.
Oh,
No, I had to put it on there.
oh, okay. All right.
Oh
He's gotta
no.
come change something. He's got some setting on it in front of you. It's all right.
He's like, what is he saying?
Sorry about that.
Oh,
you're
God,
good,
Chris.
You're good.
But is it weird, like when you're, you have to work with people, but also at the same time, like you want to be the guy?
Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult, but I'm a believer. My abilities will take me to where I need to be.
Does it push each other by doing that though? Like,
I think so.
okay,
Yeah.
like
It's-
healthy competition, right?
You look at the team Taz. You had me, Hook, and Ricky Starks. Like we all knew we weren't going to stick together.
Yeah.
We all knew we were too big for it.
Right.
And then when me and Ricky had our thing, it was, you know, we were surprised. It was after midnight. We're the main event on
Dude.
Grand Slam, and people are still there.
Yes. It was late. I was feeling it.
It was late.
Oh.
The train stopped, I believe.
Yeah.
Like it was late, but people stuck
Yep.
with it because they were invested
Yep.
in what we did. Like I feel it's one of the
God,
one
yeah.
of the biggest turns. Like when he lost the belt to Hook, and nobody expected me to hit him.
Right.
And that sound where I hit him, that was legit. That was legit. Like we're such. Me and Ricky, we have such a hunger for competition.
Mm.
Like we're not gonna go out there and hurt each other, but we're gonna make each other feel it.
He's another guy that when he got the chance on Dynamite, like I had not been familiar with him, and I immediately just hearing him on the mic, you're like,
Yeah.
oh
Yep.
my god,
Yeah.
this guy,
Yeah, so,
he's got it.
You know, it was one of those things. It's like when Shawn Michaels turned on Marty Jannetty.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
Oh my DMs were just hateful.
Oh my, that's also the weirdest thing about it too, is that when we all know, obviously wrestling, it's competition.
Yes.
But it's a performance. And when people legitimately get mad, and it's not even trolling, it's like they're legitimately mad about something.
They were
And
mad.
it's very, and they're adults, and that's what's strange to
You
me.
did that to your brother. How could you do that? And
They made me. They
I
made me.
hope you go to hell.
Oh my
Damn.
God.
Oh, shit.
God. Have you ever received like nothing like death threats or anything from that stuff, right?
A few.
Okay. Yeah.
Man.
Well, I asked that because that's how bizarre and weird
Yeah.
people are. And yeah.
A few. And I'm like, oh man, you okay? Doing my job.
Yes. You're like, we just lifted this one to a different level. God.
One thing I want to talk about is
Yeah.
that I think it's underlooked is that Sacramento Kings Lakers rivalry.
Ooh, yeah, hell yeah. we can talk about
Underlook.
it.
Yeah. And I want to talk about your team in the Western
Yes,
Conference.
man.
Yeah, we didn't talk about
Yeah,
that yet.
yeah.
White Chocolate was my dude back in the day.
Dude, I love
Coming back.
All right.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings were without De'Aaron Fox, who sat out with a sore hamstring, but it did not stop the team from beating the New Orleans Pelicans 123-108. Kings guard Kevin Huerter led all scorers with 25 points, shooting 6 of 10 from beyond the arc. Sabonis also recorded his 8th triple-double of the season with 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 Frankie D's. With the Kings win, they are now a half game out of the 2 seed in the Western Conference. The Kings can tie the Grizzlies tonight with the Grizz in LA playing the Lakers. Lakers win, Memphis and the Kings will both be tied with 38 wins and 26 losses. And now more of Deuce and Mo with our guest, PowerHouse Hobbs.
song. Man, you must have been studying me.
Oh,
Man.
I didn't know this.
yeah, he plays this all the time. Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan. We're hanging out with PowerHouse Hobbs from AEW in town. Tomorrow night, AEW Dynamite.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be fun at Golden One Center.
Oh, yeah.
Sacramento needed an AEW show. It's been a minute. It's a great wrestling
It
town.
is. It is. You think of all the past events here, like big shows. It's
Long overdue.
Long overdue.
There we go.
way overdue.
Yeah.
The Macho Man proposed to Miss Elizabeth here in Sacramento. At our
Was I
arena.
here?
Yeah.
Man, look
See,
at you.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
No, he's wild. Like,
Man,
knows it all.
you gonna have to kick it, bro.
The Royal Rumble was here too, Chris.
Yep.
Yeah, Yokozuna.
What year?
Oh, in '93.
My man.
Oh
Damn,
my God,
see?
Chris. And do you see why I call myself a casual? Like this is why I never want to disrespect the real fans. So, something we were talking about a little bit at the break, you were bringing up the Sacramento Kings, but you also brought up the Los Angeles Lakers. You said underrated.
I don't think enough people talk about that rivalry.
Ooh.
Because, man, you had Jason Williams,
Yeah.
Chris Webber.
Yeah.
You had Doug Christie.
Oh yeah, Doug, man.
You know,
Peja.
Peja Stojakovic.
It's funny you say like in Sacramento.
Oh, in Sacramento, we talk about it all the time because they haven't made the playoffs in 16
and it
years.
was
so-
all we talked about for
Yeah.
so long. But like like everywhere else though, it's like I think people try to forget it because there was obviously issues with officiating and people were like,
Well, and the pain, just the pain of losing.
And the
that
pain.
series
That's
there.
everywhere. That's
Yeah.
everywhere.
for sure.
That's everywhere.
Do you
For
remember
sure.
the Doug Christie punch to Rick Fox? Do you
Yes.
remember that?
Yes. Man, I remember. Man, I would sit and watch those games with my brother and my grandfather. Just, man,
Were you always a basketball fan too then?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
So it was. So there used to be this thing called in East Palo Alto. What was it called? I think it was like Friday Night Hoops or something. Or that may be the wrong name. I'm sure I'm gonna get called out on Twitter. But I remember Gary Payton would come down and hoop there because GP's from
Yeah.
Oakland.
Yeah.
So he would come out and hoop there. I remember seeing Chris Mullen there a few times. So it's a lot of rec ball.
Did you ever
played
go
out
to
there.
like Pro Am League and Kezar Pavilion or anything? Did you ever
No,
go?
I
Okay.
didn't.
You say you grew up a Spurs fan, though.
Yes.
That's
You said that with
interesting.
some bass in your voice.
Yeah.
And
No, I'm not a
you
Spurs fan. No, it's
mean
just-
mugging me over
Oh
there,
no,
man.
I'm cool with the Spurs. It's just interesting. Because when you were chilling here before you joined us, I was going to start like talking smack about the Warriors. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna see if I can kind of
Kinda
poke him a
round-
little bit.
round
Let's
me
get
up.
him
Which
going.
is
Let's see if
really
he stands up.
stupid. Yeah.
I know, but I just want to poke the bear a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But then you're like, oh, I'm a Spurs fan. It just
Yeah.
surprised me.
So-
Why is that?
The first jersey I ever received was from my older brother. It was a David Robinson jersey. He was a George Gervin fan.
Ooh, Iceman.
Yes,
Yeah.
master of the finger roll.
Yeah.
And David Robinson. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I'm sticking with it. Then I remember they got Rodman, Duncan, Bruce Bowens.
How fun.
Yeah.
And
So
it
it
was
is.
fun basketball, right?
I like it. It's fundamental. And
Yes.
everybody's, Duncan doesn't smile. He's so boring.
Love
Look,
it.
I remember seeing a perfect bounce pass from Tony Parker to Ginobili was cutting. It was just a perfect bounce pass right to his hands, finger roll, boom.
Yeah.
That
Don't-
stuff
don't-
gets us.
Don't need nothing flashy.
Yep. It's like stick to the basics, and sometimes the basics, the fundamentals. I mean, that's what will ultimately help you win.
Yeah, it gets you there. You look at Tim Duncan, any shot he shot off the glass, he knew what spot to hit. That
Dude.
the square back of the corner, he knows what to hit.
Yep.
You know what? Winning is sexy. And he won. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people want to talk about, oh, it's not flashy. It's like, well, you know what's flashy? The rings you wear in your hand.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the guy is one of the greats of all time.
So
Absolutely.
are you a big Greg Popovich fan?
Yes. So I actually played when I was hooping, I played every Saturday morning. I played a little rec ball with Pop's nephew.
Stop it.
Yeah, we would play at Stanford University.
Oh, that's
Wow.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Just pick up games. So
Oh, that is so cool. I just love anyone that has even a connection with Greg
Yeah.
Popovich. He's one of my all-time
Oh, yeah.
favorite coaches
Yep.
in all sports ever. I mean, not only for everything that he has done on the court, but just everything he stands for off the court. I just think it's so important with the platform that he has that he's been able to capitalize on it. So
And I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm going to say another guy who's from the Bay, Jason Kidd, is probably kicking himself in the ass for not going to the Spurs.
Oh
yeah.
I remember that. He was close.
Yeah.
That was. I think it was a Tony Parker for Jason Kidd trade that could have happened.
Yeah. But we ain't complaining.
Yeah.
We're not complaining.
You mentioned during the break your brother and like the tragedy you went through where your brother was shot and killed, and you got shot in that too.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Like how do you overcome that type of loss? And I'm sure it's still something you feel to this day.
I overcame. Well, I've been through a lot of losses in my life. So brother, my mother, almost 2 years ago, grandparents who raised me, cousins, aunts, uncles. My family was extremely close. So if you look at my grandparents' house was on a corner, and then the next block over was my aunt's house, and I would just go back and forth, daily. If I got in trouble at my grandparents' house, I'd go to my aunt's house thinking I'm going, nobody knows.
Yeah.
She would know it, and I can get a butt whooping from her and then go back home and go get a butt whooping from my grandma because, I told on her. So my family was extremely close. My grandparents, their siblings moved. Once my grandparents were the first to move from Mississippi out to the Bay Area, then everyone else followed them. So we were just extremely close, not as close as we are now because, a lot of people have passed away and we're trying to get everything back, but
life and kids too, all of it.
Definitely, and for me, I'm a big advocate on talking to a third party, getting help. So I do that. So
mental health's big, man. We always talk about working out physically, but mentally, it's
your brain's a muscle too.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got
so
work that out.
That's probably what's helped you process some of
this
stuff. Yeah.
It is, but I get some of that emotion when I'm in the ring. Sometimes it comes back, and I'm pretty sure a lot of it's going to come back tomorrow night against Wardlow. So I got a lot of things built up. And, dude. I'm going to be hurting, but he's going to be hurting worse, and I'm going to walk out with his title.
That just pumped me up. I'm gonna go run through a wall for you.
I'm just saying, I know a lot about Wardlow. He knows a lot about my life, and I know about his life, and it's just, it's not gonna be something flashy. It's gonna be two big bulls fighting. Like, man, I plan on messing up the whole arena. Like,
you're gonna mess up Golden One Center.
Somebody's gonna clean it up. It's gonna be a fight. I mean, the first time Wardlow and I stood toe to toe was in the Battle Royal. It was December 21st.
You remember that day?
I got it on my Instagram, bro.
Oh.
I got it on my Instagram. As soon as we made eye contact, we heard that roar, and unfortunately, everyone jumped us.
Yeah.
But,
it's been brewing.
It has.
I'm
so homegrown talent, like it has.
How do you prepare the day of a show and of obviously such a big match, like tomorrow night at Golden One Center? Because we almost were going to have you on during the day tomorrow, and they're like, "Oh, it's close to showtime," and I'm thinking, yeah, like these guys, they're athletes, like they need to get focused here, everything. So how do you prepare?
I've been preparing since last Wednesday when I won that ladder match. I have my routines that I don't talk about, which just I keep to myself. And when it's go time.
I love it.
I can't wait. We got to take one more break. We're going to come back with him for one more segment. PowerHouse Hobbs. Hey, TNT Championship against Wardlow tomorrow. We're going to have a new champion.
I know. I'm gonna
be there to
see.
Do you
feel it? Do you actually?
No,
feel
like
it?
You got like
feel it.
I am so inspired and amped right now. Like, let's go do something. Like, I want to go do something.
We got anybody here we can throw around?
Yes, actually, Nate.
Power bomb through this table.
Mojo in the chat. Mojo in the chat is kind of. He doesn't think the title's changing hands.
Why doesn't he think that?
He says, well, Wardlow just won the title in San Francisco, right? Seems doubtful it would change hands so quickly. Do you understand?
He doesn't know who I am.
Thank you.
He doesn't know.
I don't need to be his advocate.
No.
He doesn't know.
Proceed.
Yeah.
But you know,
We got to take one more break. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
I love it. Do we have anyone we could throw down? I said, Nate. Where's Nate? Oh my god!
You're talking about Doug Chrissy. I know he's going to be at the show tomorrow.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And he's talk about a cash.
Hey, is he going to be with his son?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But Doug told me all about that. He grew up in Seattle. He told me all about like the Portland territories and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just wrestled up in Portland. Not Portland, excuse me. In Seattle, I want to say about 3-4 months ago. For Defy. And it was small, little intimate venue, and it was nice. I wrestled Rocky Romero.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So yeah, it was good.
Oh yeah.
Rocky, he's legit.
He is.
Wild.
Dude, I didn't even ask you this, but when you officially signed with AEW, I know you feel like you're not satisfied, but was there a sense of relief? Like, oh, I got like.
So I was at the doctor's office. What was I doing? I was getting some routine blood work done for him because they had asked me to get some blood work done. I get a text. It's like, hey, this graphic is going to go up at noon your time. And I could not pull the graphic up. I just thought it was a match graphic, right? And I'm driving and I'm like, okay, I pull in my driveway and I look at this graphic. It says Will Hobbs is all elite.
Man.
And I just, man, I cried.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, okay. What's next? So it was, and I just started getting all this love from people and, love from people I didn't hear from or said, nothing's going to happen. So I took it all in. I took it all in for a few days and then went to work the next day.
We talked to, I was telling you, we talked to Eddie Kingston last week and, he's got a chip on his shoulder, of course. I feel like when you get doubted your whole life, the chip never goes away.
No, I still have it. I have a chip on both shoulders.
Yeah.
I do. Like I get an attitude about certain things. I get upset, but it's like I said, when they give you your time to go out, let's take that chip off and just show it to the whole world.
When I think sometimes one of the toughest things when you're working for an organization, corporation, whatever, is when someone has control of like what you can do and what you're capable of and you just want to push through that. Are there ever times where you have to find a certain way to just communicate? Because I mean, you see someone like Eddie Kingston and I feel like he's just like has one way, to communicate. But for you, do you find a way to like find your inner peace and go in a direction?
I adapt to everything.
Okay.
I'm a good reader on people.
Yeah.
I adapt.
Wow.
So that's why I kind of stare at people.
Yeah.
I adapt. I read them. But I mean, what I love about our company so much is that Tony Khan is so approachable. If you don't feel comfortable with something or you think something should be a different way, he will flat out listen to you. And if it works, cool. If it doesn't work, okay, cool. You still got to go out and do your job.
Hell yeah. Open door policy.
Right.
No, that's good. It's good to have that type of vibe. Especially because, you guys are creative.
Yes.
Hey, what's up? Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan. We're just talking during the break. The show is always live, youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. Hanging out with PowerHouse Hobbs from All Elite Wrestling there in town tomorrow night. Golden One Center for AEW Dynamite. Get your tickets, by the way, golden1center.com/events. You can get your tickets.
Watch me make history.
He's going to make history, becoming the new TNT champion.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I appreciate you, by the way, hanging out this long.
This is fun. I'm with it.
Right.
No, this is true. Like, I mean, I know we were supposed to have you on for like 25 minutes, and then it just thank you for being willing and wanting to chill.
Guys. I mean, I'll be here next week.
Did you actually get a workout in today?
No, I'm going to after this. Yeah. I got my pre-workout meal in my car.
What's a pre-workout meal?
So I got my protein shake. I got some Gerber baby rice. You're looking at me.
Yeah. Is it like squeezable or like out of a bowl thing?
So
jar?
It's in like a little plastic container.
And it actually is rice.
Gerber baby what?
It's baby food
Let me
Why,
look this
why
up.
do you eat baby
because
food?
it's a quick absorbing carb.
Gerber baby
That's a
rice.
secret.
Are you? Is it like those like the glass ones? Like a little tiny
That's
glass
what
ones?
I'm
Or-
saying.
Yeah,
it's in a
picturing.
little plastic thing like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I got a measure, pour it in, shake it up,
Dude, that's
throw it
what
back.
I'm always curious with you guys who you're on the road a lot,
Yes.
trying to like stay in shape.
Oh
And
my
I know
God.
there are times, sometimes I know this is messed up. You see this though with wrestlers where it's like, hey, there's sometimes you can tell, man, this guy might not be working out the same
he's
because
put on
it's been
weight.
busy schedule or up and down, or oh my God, this guy is in shape.
Coming
Like,
from unhealthy people, by the way.
have you? I just don't know how you guys even balance that on
It's
the
your-
road.
I tell people there's no excuse because it's your job.
That's true.
That is true.
It's your job.
Yeah. And it's
You
just,
know,
and
but-
it's tough finding that
It's-
willpower when you're traveling.
That's
It
what I'm
it is.
saying.
That's why everything is so different from what it was back in the day. You can have, meals already made and shipped to you.
Yeah.
You get you a Yeti or something, pack your meals, and all you gotta do is find a microwave, or if not, be gangster and eat it cold like I do sometimes. it's all right. It all goes the same place. It digests the same way.
Yeah.
So, I don't think there's an excuse. Occasionally, I'll fall off the wagon and eat something I shouldn't, but
Yeah.
we're human. Just
Yeah.
it's your job to look the part, and man, it's.
So when you go to the gym later, to like, how long do you go for?
I'll probably be there about 2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah. I mean, it's
That's
so. I mean,
insane.
you're going every day, pretty much. You're working out pretty much every day.
Yeah.
What are there rest days?
There's a couple in there.
Okay.
Some days
Active rest kind of thing.
Some days are just maybe just sitting in a sauna.
Yeah.
Going to cryotherapy, getting a sports massage. Some
Okay.
days are just
Taking care of yourself.
heavy. Heavy hitting the weights,
Yeah.
light weights. So
You're taking on Wardlow on Wednesday, but you've had some big matches in AEW. Do you have any like dream opponents? I know you probably get the ask that a lot. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be AEW, it could be anywhere, but like, do you have any dream opponents that you're thinking about?
Mox.
Oh.
Why?
Because Mox can fight. I like to fight.
There'd be blood everywhere.
There's nothing.
You do not make fun of Moxie
Hey,
for getting busted
he's
open
not coming in here.
every single match.
I would definitely bust him open.
Yes.
It's about seeing someone's own blood and smelling it.
Oh, God.
God.
Is it like, honestly, it doesn't gross
I
you
wouldn't
out a
lie to
little?
you. I wouldn't lie to you.
Okay. It
No.
doesn't gross you out?
No. When you hit someone and you see
Oh.
them bleeding, that man.
Oh, barf. I would barf everywhere
It's just
in that
like,
ring.
okay, like for me personally, it's like when I wrestled Hangman Page.
Yeah.
When I wrestled him in Daly's
Yeah.
place. And his head got busted open. I'm like, I'm actually licking my lips and smiling because I'm enjoying it. Like I'm enjoying watching this blood pour out of his head.
That is,
What?
I don't know. There's just something. I mean, I don't do well with blood or like needles or whatever because I guess I'm kind of wimpy in that sense. But like someone else's blood being like touching me with sweat and everything, I guess you're just feeling
You're not
the
meant for this
momentum.
business, Maureen.
No, the
Like me,
adrenaline.
I might be meant for this.
No
You
way,
might.
dude.
I
You
might
can't
be.
even take a. But I wish we had a chair and you could take like.
Okay.
I wish Will. Could
If
do
I were to
something
do
you.
it all over again, if I were to restart life, I would have tried to be a wrestler because I just want to be a part of the business.
You
but
know
I
what?
can't now. It's too late.
He has some pretty dope promos and is pretty good on the mic at times. No, you are. I'll give you
You got to put him on the show.
like yeah.
Put it out there.
Oh, he
Oh, I
does.
put my promos
He
out
does on
there.
our
I will.
podcast all the time. Like he starts out with just like some sort of promo. He has a fog machine that'll put in his face, and he's
You
just like,
said you have pyro at home.
Yeah. Well, I've talked about actually having real pyro, just like a little bit, but I think it's like a fire hazard, so I just can't do
It's
that.
all right. Just have
No.
somebody with a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
there we go.
Do you have a favorite moment for yourself in AEW?
I have multiple favorite moments. One of my favorite moments was coming out to save Moxley from Ricky Starks and Brian Cage.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Wasn't that your first Dynamite or no?
That was I had wrestled Darby Allin on a Saturday night
Dark.
Dynamite.
Or was it Sarah?
It was a
Okay.
Saturday night Dynamite
Okay.
due to the NBA playoffs.
Yeah. Hey, when they have to move that
Oh.
around. Yeah.
I wrestled him on a Saturday night Dynamite. Another favorite moment was being Christian Cage's second match, wrestling him.
That's cool.
My Grand Slam matches, just every big event I've been in has been a favorite moment. But right now, at this moment, was winning the Face of the Revolution ladder match in San Francisco.
That's
and
cool.
it can't get better than that because I'm standing on the top of a ladder where it says "Do not stand."
Dude. Well, and it got a little scary there for a minute because that ladder was jacked up.
Yeah, I hit hard.
Yeah.
I wear a size 14 shoe, and my feet are over this ladder.
Oh God.
And I'm an athlete. I got balance, and I'm standing there, looking like the Jesus statue in Brazil, holding that. That's one.
And that ladder was moving a lot.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. And
is there pressure in that moment when you're going up and
what's going through your mind?
It's live TV. It's live TV. I'm gonna climb up there. I'm gonna get it. And if something would have happened, I would have fell on our officials.
Yeah.
But
that's what it was so great about, like, what people who maybe aren't like super locked in to watching wrestling in that moment, like, those refs did the right thing.
Yes.
They came
yes.
in, right? You got
in any ladder match you watch.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Refs are holding the ladder.
You have to.
All this.
Well, that's so stupid. I heard that narrative, and I think it's so dumb.
It doesn't matter to me because I've learned from reading about Michael Strahan and listening to him. There's always going to be something in the media people like,
no matter what.
And I don't care because
Good.
10 out of 10 of those people wouldn't say that garbage to my face.
Right.
So it's.
And they would never do what you would do. They would never put someone else's blood on their bodies or stand up on that ladder.
I'm gangster. I mean, like, I'm going to go home and clean my gutters and stand on the top of a ladder and have my children hold the ladder.
Question: do your children seen you perform live then in AEW? Okay.
They did. They got to see it this past weekend.
Oh.
And man,
what'd that mean to you?
It meant a lot. It emotionally, it means a lot for me. And there were holy
S
chants going on. And
yeah.
My 2.5-year-old daughter, I heard, was chanting that.
Gotta buy in. Gotta buy in.
She got a pass.
Hey, the other thing you mentioned is your son, who's 17. You said
17, size 17 shoe, 6'7". Yeah, still growing.
And he plays basketball. You're saying, right?
They're saying he's gonna grow anywhere from 6'10" to 7'1".
Oh my God!
And he's a good. He's a good looking kid.
So what's I mean, is he trying to go like?
Yeah,
he wants to play pro ball.
Yeah, we went to the Warriors game last week when they made their comeback against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, and Bob Myers probably looking at him like, "Hey,
he was like,
where you go? Where do you play?"
Like Festus looked at him and Mullen looked at him. And you're like, do you want to get a few rebounds for Draymond tonight?
Yes.
He's like,
damn, dude.
So he's
how do you get that height? I mean, not that you're small or anything, but I mean, that's.
What are you saying? I'm short.
Yeah,
I mean, you're 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, they just
6'7".
I mean, that's not small, but I mean, he could be 7 foot. Like
his mother is about 6 foot.
Okay.
Oh, wow, okay.
Tall fam.
Dude.
Okay.
My kids get her legs, her calves, and I'm just like, man, I create monsters.
Yeah, you literally do.
So, do any of your kids have any aspirations to be a professional wrestler at any point? Have they talked about that?
I think my son Bam Bam just turned 5.
Okay, one Bam Bam,
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, he that kid is like the size of a 8-year-old. Like he's a wild.
Like Zion was when he was a kid. I'm sure Zion was.
He's wild, and he goes to his basketball camps, and people are like, is he supposed to be in this age group? I'm like, yeah. And he goes hard.
Dude, it's been a joy getting to learn more about your story. We can't wait to see you coming up tomorrow night.
Yes.
AEW Dynamite live
at Golden One Center.
Yep.
Still get your tickets at goldenonecenter.com. Click on events. Be there. I'm going to be there. Chris is going to be there. We're all going to witness history. PowerHouse Hobbs.
Yes.
The new TNT champion. And that's just the beginning.
Just the beginning.
Because I can already see it now.
Oh.
AEW.
Ooh.
World
Ooh.
Heavyweight champion.
You the man.
Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you guys. This was fun. Thank you.
Absolutely. We got more coming up next. Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Yes.
Dude,
this was awesome. This was awesome. I could literally be here all day. This was awesome.
No, that was
This was cool.
so kind of you. Here, I'm going to turn this off. Just